I'm going to show y'all real quick how to make a simple starter solution if you're transplanting your plants into the garden, whatever that is, vegetables or whatever, fruit trees. This is a good solution to kind of jumpstart it to get over that shock after transplanting. So here I have a barrel bucket about this big. I mean, I'm just over 5 foot, and that's about how big that is. So I have put just about this much in the bottom of chicken manure. See down in there. And this is how you can make your starter solution, is with chicken manure. And I read this out of a book, and so I'm gonna give it a try. Now, I did my potatoes in my garbage can. I read that out of a book. It's actually the same book that I'm doing this out of. So we're gonna start off with this and see what happens. So we have we didn't quarter fill this. We about 1/8 of the way filled it. So what you're gonna do is, if you have a large pot or a bucket or something, you're gonna quarter fill it with like farmyard manure. But you're gonna have that amount if you're using chicken manure, and that's what I'm gonna use. So I have my water, and I'm just gonna fill this about 3/4-ish of the way up with water. And I'll show you what that looks like after I'm 3/4 of the way filled. Okay, got a little bit lower, and I'm showing you our barrel that we have filled about 3/4 of the way of water. I'm just going to tip you over just a hair. You see about how big that little bucket is, or barrel, whatever. And the book said to quarter fill your bucket with farmyard manure, and I'm guessing that's like, that would include like cow manure and horse manure and stuff. But chicken manure is stronger than those. I think it has more nitrogen or something in it. So what I did is, I did what the book said. It said if you're using chicken manure, you're supposed to have the 1/4 of the amount, so which would be 1/8. So what I did was, I filled, if you look where this water line is right here, right there, and you divide it into 4, so like 1, 2, 3-ish, 4. I filled it about that far up with chicken manure. It had a little bit of rabbit manure mixed in there with it, but I don't think that's gonna hurt nothing. And so I filled it up, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm gonna give it a good stir, and this mixture is gonna sit for like 2 to 3 days-ish. And I have some plants that I'm fixing to stick in the garden here in a couple days, and this is gonna be my starter solution. It's supposed to help like prevent the shock of the plant and initial growth. It's like a liquid fertilizer is what it is. So let me show you what this looks like. So if you look in there, see all those bubbles? It's already, I'm guessing, like active. So I'm just going to give it a good stir and then show you how I do that. So let me turn around here. I had my stick just a second ago. There we go. There we go. Alright. So what I'm going to do is just give it a good stir. And like I said, you can see that there's rabbit manure in there too. And you're going to let this sit for about, like I said, 2 to 3 days. And you're going to want to dilute this in some water until it's like amber colored. So I don't know if you've ever let like ashes, you had a bucket of ashes or something, you let it get wet, and that color that comes from that, like that amber-ish color, almost like a rust color, I'm going to guess that's what you're looking for. So in a couple days, I'm going to dilute this with some water, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I'm going to be, hopefully, I've never had much luck with watermelon. My plan is to transplant some watermelon that I have started from seed and put them in the garden. And to just help with that, shock of the roots and everything, this is what I'm going to use. My starter solution. And you can see it's still bubbling here and there. And that's what like fermented stuff does, is have that bubbling. So I'm guessing it has a bunch of good acid stuff in it. I guess. We'll see after 2 or 3 days. So I'll show you what it's like in that amount of time and show you what I do from there. Hey everybody, it has been 2 days since we made our fermented or starter solution. Anytime you transplant your garden plants, fruit trees, whatever, into the garden, just to help with that extra little booster of vitamins and things that it needs to go in the dirt so it just don't jolt it as bad when it goes into the dirt. So here is our starter solution right here. And I've not opened it up. It's been 2 days now. Here's our bucket, and we're gonna dip some out and see how it looks. So here's right here. It's been just over 2 days. So I did that on Thursday evening, and this is what it looks like right here. So that's what it looks like right now. And if I move it around, I see a couple bubbles, if you see that. There's a couple more foamy bubbles. So let me grab my stick here and give it a stir. Let's see what the garden looks like. Okay, so I'm just gonna warn y'all, I definitely smell this. It's been covered. Alright, so, but it is nice and I see bubbles, so that's a good sign. And it says to dilute this until amber colored, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take and dip a little bit of this out and put it in my bucket, and then I'm going to use it to water my watermelons and put it in the ground. So let me grab something to dip this out with, and then I'll dilute it and show you what that looks like. Alright, so right here, I got me a jar, got me a bucket. I'm going to try not to touch it too bad with hands. So, and there was some trash mixed in with my water that I used, and even with some of the manure, but it's fine. So, I'm just going to dump it in there. And the thing didn't say that I read that it was supposed to be covered while this mixed. I mean, I'm sure it could have got some kind of ventilation while it was fermenting. It said 2 to 3 days. It's been 2 days, so this should be a good liquid fertilizer. I'm gonna say I took maybe five of these different things here. That's what mine looks like. Let's fill it a little bit. There you go. And right over here, I have my water here. There's not much left in here, so I'll turn this on. Fill this up all the way till it's full. Okay, so here is my starter solution. I just filled it up with some more water. And there's my plants that I'm wanting to stick in the ground. And this is what I'm going to use my solution on. Okay. I know they're kind of leggy looking. I hope you can hear me. But these are kind of long from being in the greenhouse, and I think maybe lack of sun or maybe overwatered. I ain't sure what I did to make them look like this, but I've heard those are common problems that you can get from underwatering, I guess overwatering, or lack of sun. So these are my 2 watermelons. I've prepared ground right here in one of my raised beds at home here at the house, and I have my starter solution right next to me in my bucket, and I'm going to pop these in the ground and water it with some of my solution. And actually, now this is optional for you to do this, completely up to you, but for me, I planted 2 fish right here, just like I did under my squash plants. I planted 2 fish up under here for fertilizer, so I ain't sure if it's going to be too much fertilizer because I got the fish and I have my manure liquid fertilizer. We will see. And I'm not going to actually dig down so it touches the fish. The fish is like right below the surface. So if you look at your ground, fish, dirt, plant. That makes sense. So you have your fish here, then there's dirt separating your fish from your plant on top. If that makes sense. And my dream, whether or not it actually happens or works out this way, my dream is to make a trellis going that way for these watermelons to run on. And I hope it works out, but we'll see. So, and it's ready. See, we got roots. So, are you ready to go on the ground? And I'm just going to cover it up not till I hit my fish, but just enough. So that, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This dirt is kind of dry. I'm going to give it a good water, good soaking after I get these in the ground, which your liquid fertilizer is your water, so I guess you could use that. And honestly, you could dig around just a hair around your plant. Well, let me go grab my jar. I left my jar over there. Okay, well, this ain't the same jar that I had to start with, but it's the jar I could find. So, the B. So here's my fertilizer. Yes, a pickle jar. I'm just going to take some of it. It's not as amber as, I don't know. I mean, it's got to be good for it, I guess. I mean, it's got that manure in there, so it's a fertilizer for sure. So we watered it a good bit with that. We're going to put some more dirt on top, just around. And one thing is, you can make yourself like a well. And when I say a well, you can do like this around, like scoot out the dirt from around it like this. So kind of like that, let that water have a place to hold at so it don't run off. So I'm going to take about another half a jar of this. And I ain't going to dash it with it, I'm just going to dump it on it and let it soak up. Like that. And here's another watermelon plant. I'm going to do the same thing on that side over there. So we come over here, right here, and we're going to do the same thing. So this is about where I planted my other fish here. So I'm going to come here like this. Let me adjust this just a second. See, there. So I'm going to take this like this and dig right down where I had my other fish planted. And I'm going to fill up our spot of water at first. So here's my liquid fertilizer, my pickle juice. Water it like that. See, he's ready. Put that down in there like that. Give it one more go of water. And cover it on up. And like I said, this is pretty dry. So break these up if you need to. And then I'm gonna make my well first before I water it. So when I say make my well, I'm just taking and I'm gathering dirt around like that right there. On the sides. Like that. Just so that water has like a little indentation to go down in. Take some more of my liquid fertilizer here. And then water my melons. If you see here, you can see that. See, it created like a little well around. So, put you out there. And just, oh no, stay still. Alright, here's our watermelon. I'm going to kind of prop him up just a little bit since he's so long and pitiful looking. There we go. I hope they do good. So, like I said, I've never had any luck with watermelons, and this is a new approach for me on watermelons, so I'm hoping it works out good. We'll see though. And these are the only two I'm going to plant. Like I said, my dream is to have like a trellis thing this way and let these watermelons run on it, and then because this is like my little walkway right here, So that looks fun. So as I walk through here, I'll be able to hopefully walk up under my trellis with my melons hanging from it. We'll see. I hope so. I hope so. But that is it. I hope this helps. I hope this works. And next time. See y'all next time.